Las Vegas, Nevada, March 14th, 2019, 6:47 a.m. The count room supervisor at the Meridian Resort and Casino notices something wrong. The numbers don't match. He runs them again, checks the logs, calls security. Within 20 minutes, 17 people are staring at screens showing the same impossible thing. $89 million, gone. Not skimmed, not shorted, gone. Vanished from the most secure vault on the Strip, in a window they will eventually narrow down to 93 minutes. No alarms, no forced entry, no evidence of anything except the absence of everything. The FBI will spend 4 years on this case. They'll interview over 2,000 people. They'll review 11,000 hours of surveillance footage. They'll trace shell companies across 9 countries. They'll find fragments, hints, shadows, but they'll never find Marcus Reyes. Because by the time they knew his name, he'd already become someone else entirely. And by the time they understood how he did it, they realized he'd been planning this for 7 years, right under their noses, opening their car doors, fetching their keys, smiling and saying thank you for tips he didn't need. This is how one man made an entire city disappear from itself. Reno, Nevada, September 2011. Marcus Reyes is 24 years old. He's working his second job as a line cook at a diner off Interstate 80. His first job is detailing cars at a used lot on weekends. His third job is tutoring math at the community college 3 nights a week. He has a degree in applied mathematics from UNLV. Graduated summa cum laude. Applied to 14 financial firms. Got 0 callbacks. Turns out a Mexican kid from North Las Vegas with no connections and no internships doesn't get past the resume screen. Doesn't matter what his GPA says, so he scrambles. Pays rent on a studio apartment. Sends money to his mother. Does the math on how long until he drowns in student loans. Then a regular at the diner mentions valet work. Good tips. Casino valets at the nice places can clear 6 figures if they're fast, polite, and forgettable. Marcus is all 3. He applies to the Meridian, gets the job, shows up in a pressed vest and a smile that never reaches his eyes. That's where everything begins. The Meridian isn't just a casino, it's a machine. 4,000 hotel rooms, 12 restaurants, a nightclub that pulls in $20 million a year just on bottle service. The gaming floor runs 24 hours and processes more cash in a weekend than most banks see in a month. Marcus learns the ecosystem. As a valet, he's invisible. Guests hand him keys to cars worth more than his parents' house. They talk on phones about deals, divorces, debts. They don't see him, they see the vest. But he sees everything. He notices the armored trucks that arrive at 4 a.m. on Tuesdays and Fridays. He notices which security guards smoke and when. He notices the maintenance tunnels that run beneath the parking structure. He notices the shift changes that create 11-minute gaps in camera coverage at the service entrance. He doesn't plan anything, not yet. He just notices. By 2013, Marcus is lead valet on the swing shift. He trains new hires. He's trusted with the key cabinet for the VIP garage. He has a security badge that opens 17 doors. He also has a secret. 3 nights a week, after his shift ends at midnight, he sits in his car in the employee lot and watches. He's built a mental map of every money movement in the building, when cash leaves the gaming floor, how it's counted, where it goes, who touches it. The cage processes around $900,000 per hour during peak times. The count room consolidates everything at 3 a.m. The vault holds operational cash for approximately 72 hours before armored transport. Marcus runs the numbers. A patient man could identify the exact window when the vault holds maximum cash and minimum oversight. That window is Sunday night into Monday morning, between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m., after the weekend peak, before the Monday pickup. The maximum he calculates, somewhere between 80 and 95 million, depending on the month. He doesn't act. He waits, he watches, he becomes furniture. Here's what the FBI will never fully understand. Marcus didn't break into the vault. He was invited. In 2015, the Meridian upgrades its entire security infrastructure. New cameras, new software, new access protocols. They hire an outside firm to install everything. That firm needs technical consultants who understand the building's layout. The facilities manager asks Marcus to help. He knows the building better than anyone, knows where every wire runs, knows the blind spots. Marcus spends 3 months walking technicians through service corridors. He watches them install sensors. He listens to them explain the system architecture. He asks questions that seem helpful. When the install is complete, Marcus knows something no one else does. The new system has a flaw. During software updates, which happen automatically at 3:15 a.m. on the first Sunday of each month, there's a 47-second window where the vault corridor cameras buffer locally instead of streaming to the security hub. 47 seconds. It's nothing. It's everything. He waits 3 more years. He needs more. 2017. Marcus makes a friend. Vincent Haddad that works in the count room. He's 53, bad back, worse marriage. He complains to Marcus in the employee cafeteria about his ex-wife, his child support, his son who won't return his calls. Marcus listens, offers nothing but presents. Over 18 months, he becomes the only person at the Meridian who treats Vincent like a human being. He never asks Vincent for anything. This is important. He doesn't need to. Because in November 2018, Vincent does something without being asked. He vents about the new vault protocols, the biometric locks, the dual authorization system, the override codes that only 3 people have. He mentions, almost casually, that the codes reset every quarter, and that he knows a guy in IT who always picks predictable patterns. Marcus files this away, says nothing, buys Vincent a coffee. 2 months later, Marcus approaches a man named Dmitry Lazarov in a parking garage in Henderson. Dmitry is 41, former Soviet Army, current freelance problem solver. He specializes in documents, good documents, the kind that don't exist until they need to. Marcus pays him $40,000 in cash. In return, he receives 3 complete identities: passports, driver's licenses, credit histories, employment records, everything backstopped through shell companies that trace to nowhere. He picks names that are forgettable, common, the kind of names that don't snag in memory. Then he waits for the right Sunday, March 10th, 2019, 2:47 a.m. Marcus clocks out of his valet shift at midnight. He drives to a storage unit in North Las Vegas, changes clothes, returns to the Meridian in a rented sedan. He parks in the service lot, walks through a maintenance door using a clone badge he made 2 years ago, moves through corridors he knows better than his own apartment. At 3:14 a.m., he's standing outside the vault corridor, wearing a maintenance uniform, carrying a toolbox. At 3:15 a.m., the cameras buffer. He has 47 seconds. He enters the corridor, approaches the vault door, enters the override code he obtained through Vincent's IT contact. The code works. The door opens. Inside, cash, stacked, wrapped, sorted. $89,200,000. He knows this because he's calculated it. Sunday after a UFC fight weekend. Maximum hold. He doesn't take it all at once. That's not the plan. The plan took 7 years. The execution takes 11 nights. Here's what nobody expected. Marcus doesn't run. He keeps working, keeps parking cars, keeps smiling. Every night for 11 nights he returns. Same method, same window. Each time, he removes exactly $8,100,000, packs it into equipment cases, wheels it out through the loading dock, drives to one of 3 storage units he's rented under different names. The vault is never empty. The count room notices fluctuations but attributes them to heavy gaming weekends. Nobody checks the actual physical count against the digital log. Nobody thinks to. The numbers always reconcile within acceptable variance. By March 14th, the variance is $89 million. That's when someone finally opens the vault and counts. Marcus doesn't show up for his shift that day. His apartment is empty. His car is in the employee lot, keys on the seat. His phone is in a dumpster behind a gas station. The 3 identities Dmitry made are already burned. Marcus used them to open accounts, buy plane tickets to 3 different countries, and create false trails. None of them are real. The real Marcus Reyes, or whatever he's calling himself now, left the country on March 12th. 2 days before anyone knew the money was gone, he used a 4th identity. One Dmitry didn't make. One Marcus built himself over 5 years through a contact in Montreal. He flew to Sao Paulo, then Lisbon, then somewhere the FBI has never been able to confirm. The investigation lasts 4 years. They arrest Vincent Haddad for conspiracy. He dies of a heart attack before trial. They arrest the IT technician who gave out the codes. He gets 9 years. They trace $31 million to accounts in Cyprus and the Caymans. They freeze it. They never recover it. The other $58 million vanishes into a maze of cryptocurrency conversions, shell companies, and jurisdictions that don't cooperate with American subpoenas. They find Dmitry Lazarov in 2021. He's dead. Natural causes. His records reveal nothing about Marcus. The case goes cold in 2023. Here's what haunts the lead investigator, an agent named Carolyn Webb, who's given interviews about this case exactly once. She says the same thing every time. He was patient. That's what she can't get over. 7 years of watching, 3 years of planning, 11 nights of execution, and then gone. Not a single moment of panic. Not a single mistake they could trace back to impulse. She says there's one detail that keeps her up at night. During the investigation, they pulled employee records. They found Marcus's original job application from 2012. In the section that asks why he wants to work at the Meridian, he wrote one sentence: "I've always been good at being invisible." The Meridian settled a lawsuit with its insurance company in 2024. They never released the terms. They never acknowledged the security flaw. They never explained how one man defeated 17 layers of surveillance, biometric locks, and armed guards. Some people say Marcus is dead, that someone got to him, that you can't steal from a casino and live. Some people say he's in Southeast Asia, or South America, or a small town in Portugal where nobody asks questions. Some people say he's back in Vegas, working a different casino, parking cars, watching. The FBI has a file on Marcus Reyes. It's still open. The last entry is from October 2024. A possible sighting in Buenos Aires. A man matching his description was seen leaving a cafe. By the time agents arrived, the table was empty. The coffee was still warm. $89 million, 7 years of patience, 93 minutes that changed everything. And somewhere, a man who used to park cars for tips is living a life that doesn't have his name attached to it. A life that costs more than most people will ever earn. A life built on the simple truth that nobody watches the people they don't see. The Meridian has new valets now, new cameras, new protocols. The vault was redesigned in 2020. The security firm was sued and settled. Nothing was ever the same. And Marcus Reyes, if that was ever really his name, became a ghost story that casino executives tell each other in private. A reminder that the most dangerous person in any room might be the one you never think to look at. The one holding your keys, smiling, saying thank you, waiting.